Hey, what's going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG video where today I'm going to be doing another video on Bird Flu, aka Pidgeotto Control. I know I did do a video on this deck a couple weeks ago, but I wasn't as experienced with the deck at the time I did the video, so I ended up making a couple mistakes, I think, and also this was before we included Jirachis in the deck, and Jirachi just does so much for the deck, makes it so much more consistent, and just adds a lot to it, so I wanted to do an updated Pidgeotto Control list and video for you guys, since I think I know the deck a little better now than I did at the time. But yeah, here is the list that Grant Manley, of course, used to get second place at the Atlantic City Regional Championships just a couple of weekends ago. I also got top 128 with the same list. I think this list is still very, very good heading into Knoxville Regionals. I do expect a decent amount of Pidgeotto Control at the tournament, so it's definitely something you guys want to be familiar with if you are planning to play in Knoxville. But if anyone is not familiar with just the main strategy of the deck, the whole idea is that we are going to resource management with Oranguru a bunch of times, get all of our disruption cards back into the deck like Crushing Hammer, Chip-Chip Ice Axe, Power Plants, all of these things, and eventually at some point in the game we are going to lock our opponent's hand to 0 cards by using Reset Stamp, Lieutenant Surge's Strategy, Jessie James, and Mars to put them to 0 cards, and then use Chip-Chip Ice Axe to control their top deck for the rest of the game, and make sure that they dead draw the entire rest of the game, and then just custom catcher Crushing Hammer, deck our opponent out if need be. Power Plant and Articuno-GX are here, very good against the Mewtwo decks, of course. And yeah, Grant and I added Jirachis just because it gave the deck a lot more reach and is just an added consistency card. Of course, you know, the deck really relies on getting Professor Elm's Lecture in the first turn, and Jirachi is just another out to doing that. So let's go ahead and hop over to the Versus Ladder. Like I said, I did do a video on this deck, I know, a few weeks ago, but I wanted to do an updated one because I feel like I am more experienced with the deck, like I said. And yeah, I had some requests after Atlantic City on an updated Pidgeotto deck covering the deck that Grant and I both used, so I wanted to do that today. Alright, looks like we might be playing against a Malamar deck. And Malamar can actually be a tricky matchup for this list if the Malamar player knows what they're doing, if they know how to play the matchup well, and also as long as they start like an Inkay or Mew, something like that. We do get Elm's Lecture in our opening hand, so that is perfect. And we are going to just click done here, and our opponent's going to get their starting Pokemon going. And they did start Jirachi and Mew on the bench. So this is going to be probably a little tough for us. We'll just have to see how our opponent does if they play the matchup correctly. We are going to get Pidgey and Pidgeotto so we can draw some cards next turn. We do have all 4 Oranguru prized an Articuno. Looks like we prized a Nope, we have the other one in our hand. We did prize a Pal Pad though. But nothing too important. It looks like we've got all of our energy. We got the 2 Tate Lizas, we got both Mars, both Surge, and the Jessie and James. So what did we prize? We prized a Pidgeotto, we prized 2 Jirachi, that is totally fine. 2 Jirachi is a great thing to have in the prizes. So Pidgeotto, 2 Jirachi, Pal Pad, Articuno, and 1 other card, and Elm's Lecture, it looks like. So not too bad as far as prizes are concerned. I will definitely take those. I'm going to go ahead and Stellar Wish here. We will just grab the Pal Pad. And right away, I'm going to go ahead and play the Pal Pad to put the Elm's Lecture back into the deck because it is an out next turn for us to get more Pidgeottos in play, which is fine for our next turn. And we could attach the Recycle Energy to the active so we can move Jirachi into Oranguru next turn potentially, which I don't hate. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put the Water Energy in play though, because we might need to, we do need to try to set up to knock out this Mew potentially. One of the ways we can do that is with Gust, and another way of course is with Articuno-GX itself. So we're just going to go like that and go on to our opponent's turn. Mew is definitely something that can be a problem if it's played well by the Malamar player, like I said. So we'll see if they know how to play the matchup or not. if they start attacking normally with like Giratinas and stuff, we should be just fine to eventually stall the Giratina active, Cold Crush, knock it out, or Cold Crush, discard all the energy, and hand lock them at some point. So they are going to go ahead and get an energy on Mew. And also another thing is that they should not immediately start to knock out the Pidgeys. They should spread the damage around and try to take multiple knockouts in a turn type of deal, so that they don't activate our Surge too early. And they are going to get another Inkay. And going to go ahead and retreat into Mew and start with the Psy Power. And they're just going to put all 3 on a Pidgey, which is fine for their first Psy Power. We do wake up, so we could attach Retreat if we wanted to. We do get Oranguru on the top deck. Let's start things off, though, with an Airmail. We're going to be looking for either Cynthia or a Tate Liza here to get things going. We do get a second Custom Catcher, so Custom Catcher up the Inkay wouldn't be too bad. See what we get here on the Stellar Wish. We do get another Lecture, which we'll just go ahead and take that. Try to get some more birds set up into play. So let's go bird, 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 like this. Yeah. And I'm kind of torn here. Do we want to attach active? Let's use our second Airmail and figure that out first. All right, we definitely take Articuno. We didn't get an energy to attach, which is the main downfall here. And he could just knock out this Pidgeotto, which I don't think they should do, but it's definitely something that they could do. And we'll go ahead and attach to the active so we can potentially move it into Oranguru next turn. We'll put the Oranguru in play, and we'll pass it over to our opponent. But yeah, if they knock out Pidgeotto and give us Surge right away, I would be pretty fine with that. They're going to go ahead and attach to Malamar. Spell Tags coming down onto the Mew and a Cynthia. Spell Tag is pretty irrelevant in the matchup for the most part, except on Mew. They definitely need to put it on Mew so that when we eventually knock it out, because we do most likely have to knock the Mew out, then they get their Spell Tag triggers to knock out some Pidgeottos and stuff. Alright, there's Viridian. So we are 2 turns away now from being able to get off the Articuno, depending on if they knock out this energy or not. They're going to go ahead and just start to power up the Espeon Deoxys, which is definitely kind of scary. But something you can do at these points in the game, and they are just going to go ahead and knock out Pidgeotto, okay. Alright, so it is on to us now. We do have Surge active, like I said. So we can just go Catcher this Malamar, most likely. I kind of want to find a Draw Supporter. And then we can retreat into Resource Management. So we start with Acro Bike. Definitely just start with that. I guess we'll discard the water. I don't really want to discard the water, but that seems okay. Yeah, we'll start with Airmail. We'll take the Tate and Liza. And with this, we're just going to go Customs, bring up the Malamar. Replace the Stadium, and we're going to go Tate and Liza, Shuffle Draw 5. Now, of course, they do have multiple Switch in the deck. We will discard the Pokégear. No, we already have a Surge in hand. I guess we can put back a Surge this turn. We will take Acro Bike, I think, is fine. We're going to go put back, like, Water Pidgeotto, maybe? Water Pal Pad Pidgeotto, probably. Or Catcher. Probably Catchers. Because we just want to try to bring this up every turn if we can. Acrobiking away a Stamp is not the best, but not the end of the world. We're just going to retreat into Oranguru. No Stellar Wish this turn. And resource management. Hopefully we get a turn where they don't have a switch or like Escape Board Energy, since we did bump the stadium. So yeah, we'll put these things back in. We have the Pal Pad in hand, so we can shuffle the deck to try to increase our odds to draw those catchers. There is Viridian right away. Gonna go ahead and discard a Psychic and not get another energy. 1, 2, 3. They're just gonna go ahead and keep powering this guy up. I guess they're digging for a switch here. Acro Bike, they're digging. Discards a Giratina. And Psychic Recharge, gonna just start to power this thing up. This thing is definitely scary. At some point, what we'll want to do is, if we can keep this stuck active for a little while, we'll want to catcher this plus Articuno, Cold Crush it. We do have the one more water in the deck. So yeah, like I said, I think this matchup is close, if not slightly favored for Malamar, if the Malamar player knows how to play the matchup, and our opponent thus far has played it pretty well. But we can remove a majority of their hand this turn. So let's go ahead and try to do that. We need to draw the Jessie and James. We've got Pokégear plus double airmail. So yeah, all we want here is Jessie and James. So we'll take this water. Airmail, take the Articuno. Airmail again, take the custom, because I think we take the custom. We want to be able to hammer energy off of this if they start attaching to it, though, to try to retreat it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we take the hammer. And give me the Jessie and James. No luck this time. We can go ahead and Surge plus Mars, though, and at least get maybe something else. We do get rid of an energy. That's pretty good. We will bike into the Pokégear. Does get rid of the Ditto, but we have one more supporter we can play this turn. We get Elm's Lecture. I'll take it. We did not put back that Pidgeotto last turn, but we'll go ahead and play this to get that Pidgey out of the deck. Get it in play. And I think I will go ahead and use one Chip-Chip Ice Axe, because there is a chance that they just don't have very much. We'll give them the spell tag, and then we will resource. We could attach this water active in case they do bring up Mew, and then we still have it in play for Articuno. I would have liked a stadium as well there. That would have been really good for sure. So let's put back Surge, Mars, and Chip-Chip. We can actually put back the Pidgeotto, I think, and that's pretty good. Okay. So on to our opponent's turn. Hopefully they don't have a supporter in hand. We don't really have much knowledge of their hand. They haven't played any Lilies, and they do still have one Cynthia. They've also played no Switch. There's the spell tag we gave them. And if they're playing cards out, it makes me think they might be having a supporter in their hand. We know that their other Escape Board is in the deck. We know they don't have the other Escape Board. They do have a Lily, however, and they can Psychic Recharge. They can get off the big cross-division play this turn. If they get a switch here, only 12 cards left in their deck. They have drawn a decent amount of cards. It is probably a little lucky at this point if they have whiffed the switch. But if they don't play Mimikyu as well, we're actually in a position where we might be able to deck them out before they are able to really do much. And also, if we get Double Catcher, we can bring the Espeon Deoxys active this turn, which would be ideal. Alright, they did whiff. They did whiff, so maybe a little lucky there. We're going to go ahead and Viridian to shuffle the deck because we might want Surge and Mars, which are both on the bottom of the deck. I guess maybe we shouldn't have done that because we could have gone really hard to try to get the custom catchers, which we knew where they were in the deck. Alright, there's one custom. Excuse the dog, guys. Oh my goodness, what is happening right now? Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and Pokégear. We get a Jessie and James. Oh my gosh, hang on just a second. Oh my goodness. What is happening outside right now? Come here. Alright, so if we get double Crushing Hammer heads, they can't do it next turn. Unless... Yeah, they can't do it next turn because they have all their energy in place. So we will probably just go for that. I don't really want to play the Jessie and James because... well, that's unfortunate. Now we just hold this hammer because it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, because they just double recharge switch. But we know they don't have Switch in their hand. I think we hold this Chip-Chip now. Oh no, this is going to start dinging me the rest of the game, isn't it? So let's put back Pidgey, Chip-Chip, and a Crushing. So that we can maybe recover from the big cross-division play. I do not know what just happened with my dog. I do apologize. But yeah, so we have Articuno in hand. So if they do go with the big Espeon Deoxys play, we have a pretty reasonable hand to be able to just cold crush them. Because I doubt they're knocking out our active. They're probably going knock out Pidgeotto, knock out Jirachi, or knock out all three Pidgeottos. Any of those options seem pretty good. There's a Lily for 2. Do they have the Switch yet? They have not seen a single one. We do see the second Mew, so that actually makes me think they don't play Mimikyu, which is actually really good for us. And actually probably will just win us the game, ultimately, the fact that they don't play Mimikyu. Alright, and they whiffed it once again. That is excellent for us. We could have shuffled the deck, but we didn't really need those cards we put on the bottom that much this turn. So we would rather get these things. We will definitely take the... I really wouldn't mind the Pal Pad, but Power Plant seems really good here to be able to bump their stadium. But I think we'll take the Pal Pad. We would like to have the build up to be able to respond to the cross-division play in our hand. They likely don't play Reset Stamp, and we did get the custom catcher plus the Articuno play, so that is really, really good. And we are going to go ahead and do that for sure. Yeah. Legendary Ascent. Bring up this Water Energy. Double Custom. Espeon Deoxys. Definitely the threat here. We should have probably played the Mars first, but that is okay. Alright, and we will shuffle back the Tate Liza and the Mars, because we want Tate next turn pretty badly. And we know they don't have Switch once again, so I guess we'll just Chip-Chip to put a Pokémon on top. That's pretty useless. And we will Cold Crush GX. We didn't get the replacement stadium, which I would have liked. And we also don't have second Chip-Chip yet. Second Chip-Chip could be good next turn. Also, if we had gotten Surge, we could have gotten rid of a lot more cards from their deck. And they've just put another Inkay in play. Oh my goodness, what is up with the dog? She is losing her mind right now. So they're just thinning to be able to draw some cards with Lily here. And next turn we need to find Tate and Liza and Switch and Resource Management, and there we go. They do just end up conceding the game, so we were able to win that one. I think our opponent played pretty well. Maybe just got a little unlucky whiffing those switches, but that's kind of what you have to play to sometimes with Pidgeotto, hoping that they do whiff their like switch cards and stuff. Because decks do play pretty small counts, but they had seen a decent amount of their deck, and we are gonna, of course, choose to go first. I didn't quite see what our opponent was playing. We do get an Oranguru start with a Ditto, so not too bad. I would love to hit an Elms off this Pokégear, but I would even take a Cynthia or a Tate Liza at this point. Turn 1 Power Plant is also pretty good against a lot of decks. We're going first, so not going to bench the Ditto. Alright, so you see Espeon Deoxys, and it's either a Mewtwo deck or a Malamar deck. We definitely just want to take the Pidgey there. It does stink to discard a Surge, but not the end of the world. And we can actually draw a couple cards with Custom Catcher. And we got a Mars. We'll go ahead and use it to draw some more cards, and we got an Elms for next turn. That's pretty good. I'll just go ahead and pass. Things can get a little sketchy when your start is this bad, though, against Mewtwo. But luckily for us, Espeon Deoxys is like one of the weaker starters for them. They want to be attacking with Mewtwo because Espeon Deoxys, while obviously it's great for cross division and it can't get power planted out of the game, it does struggle when after the cross division being able to like do anything else. Like Psychic Club is just not a good attack. It barely ever is going to knock out an Oranguru. They're going to have to fill their bench with a bunch of stuff, and then that just gives us like custom catcher targets like Mewtwo. So we're going to just see a Hapu. Of course, we did discard the Weakness Guard Energy, which tells us this is the Toward Reklev version of the deck. And then playing Hapu on turn 1 also tells us that we are not scared as much of a turn 2 big Cross Division GX, since they're not playing Welder on their turn. So they're going to discard a bunch of stuff here. Ninkata goes down, as well as Naganadel Lysander Labs, and a Psychic Energy. Here comes a Pokemon Communication, is going to put back a Dedenne. See what they opt for here. Going to just be a Mewtwo and Mew. Excuse me. And yeah, just going to bench and attach to it and pass it over to us. And yeah, this is something that actually can happen sometimes with Mewtwo. One of the ones I played against in Atlantic City, I actually just like straight up bricked them really fast. Like they just got a bad hand and then bricked and lost the game, which is definitely something that can happen. So we prized double Pidgey, which is a little unfortunate. Not going to... Goodness, something is happening out there today, I guess. We're going to go ahead and airmail, get the Surge. Airmail, golly, sorry guys. Get the Escape Board so we have a pivot for next turn if our Oranguru does get knocked out. We can go ahead and play the Chip-Chip. 4-card hand, they Hapu'd, and put back a Dedenne. So we know their hand isn't great. We know they don't have a stadium. They probably would have gone for it if they had one. I guess we will just give them the Latios. That's Communication can find them Dedenne if they do have a stadium and another Pokemon, but if they did, then they probably would have gotten... They still would have just gone all out for it, but they could have changed their mind, I guess. So I think we hold Pal Pad for now. I didn't take time to check my prizes this game either, so that's kind of a mistake. We're just going to put back all these search cards. Yeah, I think like this. No, yeah, we'll do it like this. We don't really need the Chip-Chip right away. And we can Pal Pad back those other cards next turn. And let's see what our opponent has. Something you do have to keep in mind, especially when you're playing this deck on PTCGO, is the timer. You got to make your decisions pretty quickly so you don't time out, which can happen. It's happened to me before. I've seen it happen to others. Alright, here comes the Reg Challenge. They're going to get rid of that Latios we gave them and a Fire Energy. And we can Mars next turn to try to discard whatever card they might be getting here. Could be a Stadium if they have like another Dedenne in their hand to just try to draw some cards this turn, which I could definitely understand. And I think they're just kind of looking through their deck, figuring out what they need, what they might want. Let's see if this is anything they play. They are going to put down the Lysander Labs. So do they have Dedenne? Yes, they do indeed. All right, there we go. Looking for a switch now. If they're playing Tord's exact list, Tord did play only one copy of Switch, which is not very good for this situation, and it looks like they were unable to find much. So let's go ahead and this definitely comes in play. I think we'll go ahead and Pal Pad back these two. Shuffle the deck, because we have like Pokégear and stuff we just put back that we could get. Definitely start to try to hammer some energies away. And we want a second Oranguru for sure. And we will take another Mars as well. We'll go ahead and play one of these Mars. We did get Jirachi, which is good. We can throw that down, throw the Escape Board on it. We got rid of a Dedenne from them, which is solid. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play this Hammer. We do flip tails. Oh yeah, they do have the Stadium in play, so that's a little annoying. I guess we do need to put Oranguru in play. I wish I hadn't put this Jirachi in play now, because now we're board locked to not be able to Articuno if they do get a bunch of energies on a Mewtwo. But I guess if they get a bunch of energies on a Mewtwo, they are probably knocking something out anyway, so it's probably okay. We want to be able to promote this, potentially. So let's just put back these things. Power Plant is very important, for sure. Crushing Hammer, Pal Pad, all good things. On to our opponent's turn. I would love to have them knock out our Oranguru, activate our Lieutenant Surge. That would definitely be ideal. There is the Marshadow, so they'll pop that at some point. Here comes Solgaleo to the hand. And Dedenne discards it, as well as a Shedinja. Shedinja's actually not a bad attacker in this matchup, because just for one energy you start to put some damage on the active, can pressure us a little bit, and it's only one energy commitment. And of course, it can't get stuck active because you can use that ability, Vessel of Life, to move it at some point. Okay, so we do see that they put an energy on the active, so we're going to look for a Hammer this turn. Shuffle the deck with the gear. We did not find a supporter. We definitely want Articuno to be able to respond. If need be, Stamp is also really good, so that's kind of a hard decision there, but we will go ahead and take Power Plant. That one is a bit easier to make, and we will keep another Power Plant, because hopefully they'll have to use Marshadow here. If they want to do much, we will go ahead and Mars. We did get a Crushing Hammer. We got rid of a Mewtwo. Let's go ahead and hope we hit heads. That is another Tails. We'll definitely go ahead and put the Power Plant in play, though. And we will put back Hammer. Let's just put back these. Probably just double Mars, actually. We probably should put back the other Chip-Chip, though. I'm actually not even positive if our Chip-Chip is in the deck. We'll have to check that out. Our other one. Alright, so they're going to get rid of the second Solgaleo. I would assume this is probably just towards exact 60, so they probably only have the one switch, so even at some point, if they do get off a big cross-division play, we can hopefully just get custom catchers to bring Espeon Deoxys back up and lock it active. Or even just lock the Mewtwo active with a Cold Crush. That's also pretty good. They need an energy. There is the switch, so that should be it as far as the switch cards go. We will likely see a Turbo Strike and probably just power up the Espeon Deoxys. They could go get another Mewtwo with this communication, but it actually looks like they're putting back in a Mewtwo, and they want to dig with Dede Change. So I don't know that I necessarily... I guess they can always pop the Marshadow to get another Mewtwo down. But Psychic Club is just never going to be doing much damage at this point. So we should eventually be able to win by bringing that guy active. Alright, there's the Turbo Strike. We do have Power Plant. Alright. So they have only played one Welder. It's pretty good odds that they would be able to get off a cross division next turn, I think. And we can go just Surge Cynthia. We could also... Pulling off the big combo here doesn't... We don't really need to do that this turn. I think I like just kind of going Surge Cynthia. Because we would need to find Stamp, Mars, all that stuff, and we know the Marses are on the bottom of the deck. I guess we can Hearth to shuffle the deck, though. So... Surge Cynthia, or we can try to pull off the Jessie James Mars lock combo this turn. Plus Power Plant is pretty good. Yeah, I guess we'll just see if we can maybe get there. Let's start with Airmail. Get a Elms. Let's just see if we get there. We'll take the Pokégear. Yeah. Crushing Hammer's pretty good too, though. And we got Mars. So then we'll Pokégear first, or sorry, Stellar Wish before Pokégear. We need Stamp plus Jessie and James. There's the Stamp. We also could double custom up the Dedenne, or the Marshadow even, but just one energy to retreat it. It's not the best. I do like the Absol that Sander played in his list. Alright, so we can Stamp double Mars, which isn't terrible. And we draw a decent amount of cards. Plus Power Plant. Alright, we'll go Surge. Mars. And Mars. Again, we did get rid of a Stadium. That's pretty good. And we got rid of a Reset Stamp. That's pretty good. Okay. I'm actually not positive what our prizes were, which is not good right now because we have to put back an Oranguru if we did prize double Guru. And I'm not sure if we did. But we definitely want back Power Plant. I think we definitely want Mars, a Mars back in the deck at least. And I feel like I feel like we might have prized double Guru. I don't know. I just kind of have a feeling. I don't really remember. I should have checked for sure. I would like the Chip-Chip, obviously, but I think we'll just go with this combo for now. So let's see what they have going. There's... they did get another Stadium, but that should be their last one, so next time they'll have to use Marshadow. Oh yeah, of course, we do need to consider Burning Magma at all times. Always something to keep in mind. Do not want to lose to that. And we are down to 17 minutes, but they only have 14 cards in deck, so I think we will be able to close this game out on time. So if they have Welder and 3 energies, they can pull off the big cross-division play, but it looks like it is just 1 fire energy, so that is pretty good, and there are no energies in the discard to accelerate. Oh, sorry, there is 1 fire still in the discard pile. But yeah, we'll just see. We'll see. And they're going to go with Turbo Strike. So we'll pop this back to hand and send up Jirachi. And that thing is getting ready to go for sure. Something that is scary is, of course, like them doing this plus Reset Stamping in the same turn. Something to be scared of. Alright, so let's Pal Pad. Yeah, I think we just go Pal Pad back Surge Mars. And we'll start with Airmail. Go ahead and take Crushing. If we can Crushing all the energies off this, we would be in a decent spot. I really want to find more than just this. There's a Power Plant. Excuse the dog once again. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what her deal is today. We need an Oranguru. We don't have an Oranguru yet, and we have no way to find it with Jirachi. So we could just go Surge Cynthia, Plant, Hammers, stuff like that. There is double Oranguru though, so we didn't prize one. Good to know. So we'll go Power Plant. I think we might just end this turn with a second Stellar Wish. He doesn't ever win with 200, right? Yeah, there's 180. Yeah, he doesn't win. We could stamp him. We could also just save it. I think we're going to put this Jirachi in play and then go Surge and Cynthia. Well, Hammer. Try to get rid of these off the active. There, we finally get our first Crushing Hammer heads, I think, of the video. We could put this in play somewhere, but if we do draw into Oranguru and Energy, I would still like to obviously do that. Could have played the Reset Stamp, but I think we want to hold off potentially. We did get Oranguru and an Energy. That is good. Alright, and we'll take Tate Liza. Okay. I was worried for a second that something went wrong. Oh, and we could shuffle draw with Tate Liza as well to try to draw some hammers. Yeah, let's do it. Or customs, even. Double custom would have been good, but not quite getting there. We do get Articuno plus Energy, though. So we want Chip-Chip, Stamp, Plant, for sure. Things could get a little sketchy, I guess, if they do get it off this turn. Yeah. Because our hand isn't built up pretty big anymore. But luckily for us, they are not ever knocking out Oranguru next turn, and they're probably just going to go knock out 3 Pidgeys. We can draw some cards here with Custom Catcher. Alright, and there go the Pidgeottos. He should have put the 2 on Oranguru 6, 7. Actually, it doesn't matter because he still is 2-shotting with Psychic Club. Alright, on to our turn. Alright, moment of truth. We can bench this, attach. Custom for 1. And we're looking for Tate Liza. We do have 1 down, though. Maybe it would have been better to attach active and then look to retreat to... No, because then he just wins. Yeah, we'll just custom for 1. There's another Guru. We get no supporter. Okay. Alright, so this is sketchy now, but next turn we do have attach, retreat, Cold Crush. So we might still be okay. Of course, if they have double customs, they could just win. But if they're playing towards a deck, which we do think they are, they don't have customs. So we will put back Pidgeotto and Pal Pad and Tate and Liza. Because they have 6 energy right there, 7 fire. Yeah, they have 1 water, 1... Yeah, they have 1 water, 1 psychic, and 1 fire left to win the game. So if we Cold Crush next turn, we should be okay, I think. Knock on wood. But yeah, and this is why I think it's better to attack with Mewtwo and Mew, because they can't knock out this... Obviously, they started the Espeon Deoxys, but now they can't knock out this Oranguru. They can't Venom Shot to knock out Jirachi or even Articuno at this point. But they're just going to Retch Challenge for something, get an attachment to the Mewtwo, They are down their switch. Here comes a Pokemon Communication. Gonna put back a Mewtwo and Mew. And just to get a Mewtwo and Mew, I guess just thinning that card out. And Psychic Club, okay. And we will attach, retreat, Cold Crush GX. And let's see what they can do with the cards they have left. They have to attach twice to move this. And then if we ever just pull off double custom, we should be able to win. Maybe we should have held that custom for that reason. Oh no, here comes a welder though. It is 2 energies. So if they do get a switch, they play a second switch. Oh, so that's something they changed from towards deck. They can Resetting Hole, hit the Power Plant, and then Mag Cargo will knock us out. So I think I did make a mistake that turn that I went for the Cynthia to try to find a Oranguru. I should have just been okay with Jirachi once again. So they did play a second switch in their list, which is something Tord also said he would do, but definitely a long one. Yeah, but that one turn, I shouldn't have Cynthia because we had everything we needed to lock them, and we got rid of it all because I wanted a resource management. So that seems not worth, unfortunately. But GG's to our opponents today. Hopefully that is a little bit better of an idea of how the deck works for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think of this deck for Knoxville, because it will certainly be in the room. I don't know how popular it will be, but that will be represented for sure. So thanks for watching, guys. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to get out of here, and until next time, take care.